Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Padmasai ma'am, for the invitation. So today the topic for my talk is ergonomics at workplace. So I'm not actually the expert in this particular field, but when I was going through some of the topics and all, I found this one was very much interesting, and I just want ki I should share this because we all are working people, and knowingly and unknowingly we don't follow certain uh, things during our workplace. So ergonomics is one such topic which actually fascinated me, and I thought ki I should share with everyone. So because of that reason I selected this topic. But after listening to the previous two talks and the topic that you have decided for this Women's Day, I thought my topic is very much relevant to that. So, very happy Women's Day to one and everyone who is sitting there. And recently, I have got a She Inspire Award, Academic Icon Award 2023 for this Women's Day. Since the Women's Day is falling on Holy Day, we have a holiday here. That was the reason this event was conducted 3 days back. So a very happy Women's Day to everyone. So one of the beautiful quote I got while searching, the most beautiful thing a woman can wear is confidence. I think if we have this, then we can achieve everything in our life. So this is my brief profile. I was actually a part of IEEE Hyderabad section. Last year itself, I have shifted to Raipur, Chhattisgarh. So presently, I am working as a director IQAC at Kalinga University. And these are some of the projects funding which I have received from IEEE and some other government and non-government organizations. So let me start with the today's topic, that is what is ergonomics. So when we talk about this ergonomics, so I would like to just split this. Ergo basically stands for work and nomics is rules or laws. So literally speaking, if we talk about ergonomics means the laws of work. It is study of people efficiency at their working environment. So I'll be taking you through a journey during my presentation where knowingly and unknowingly every one of us who is sitting there in the auditorium or whoever has joined virtually might be doing all such things in our day-to-day working style. So ergonomics related stress areas are eyes, then we have our neck, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, back or spine, hip, knee. So these are some of the stress areas on which actually the ergonomics focuses on. So most common symptoms of ergonomic issues. I think all, even the students or the faculty who are sitting there, you might come across all these things in your day-to-day life. Tingling and numbing effect, dull, sharp or burning pain, muscle weakness, decreased grip strength, decreased range of motion, swelling or inflammation, joint stiffness, blurred vision or watery eyes. So every one of us, as we know that we are living in a generation where there is a lot of competition is there is a lot of work stress is there. So each and every one of us might be going through all these symptoms in our day to day life, but normally we avoid them, saying that this has become a regular practice for all of us. So, ergonomics is used in workplace to help prevent repetitive and cumulative injuries. So, I'll be even telling you some of the statistics also, that how badly that ergonomics is affecting us knowingly and unknowingly. So, basically, there are 10 principles of ergonomics that we have, if we follow at our workplace or in our day to day routine life, then I think that our life would become better. The first principle related to ergonomics is keep everything in range. So I'll be taking you through the journey of all these principles of the ergonomics, how it is being related with our day to day life. The second principle is maintain comfortable surroundings. Third is move, exercise, and stretch. Fourth is minimize fatigue and inactivity load. Fifth is minimize pressure points. Six is give clearance. Seven is reduce extreme force. Eight is reduce extreme motions. And nine is work in culture neutral postures. And the tenth one is work at the proper height. So these are some of the principles which are related to a better working environment related to ergonomics. So work in a neutral posture. So these are some of the images I think which you can relate to your day to day activities. For example, when I talk about a neutral posture, so normally when we raise the hand, so we don't give much stress that how we are raising our hand. So you can see the variation in the postures. It's a neutral posture and awkward posture. If you see, there is a variation. So you find that this is an awkward posture where you have some radial deviation, ulnar deviation, flexion, extension. So normally whenever you raise an hand, so you need to have a proper posture related to that. Now the second image, if you see, this is something related to elbow. So when we try to shake an hand with someone, then normally we don't give much importance like how you are putting your hand in front of a person to give a handshake. So you see that the neutral posture for that is it should be in this angle of 90-degree. Otherwise it is going to put some stress on your elbow. Because of that you might be getting some problem related to flexion and extension. These are some of the awkward postures related to your wrist and related to your elbow. So these all our day to day activities which we knowingly and unknowingly we do it because we don't put much uh, concentration on that because it's a normal thing what we feel. But I'll tell you in the coming slides how it is going to affect our health. Then coming to work in neutral postures related to the standing position. Then neutral posture, if you see that this is how a person should stand whenever we are trying to talk to someone by standing. So awkward postures are normally back flexion, back extension, twisting about the waist, lateral bending. So these all slight movement in our body related to the postures may also create lot of problems in the near future. Then coming to the effect related to the shoulder. Then I was talking to you about the gesture that we do by handshaking. So this will also affect not only your elbows, it affects also your shoulders. So these are some of the awkward postures related to, if you just go, then you could see that is it is related to wrist, then it is related to elbow, then you have your standing position, then your shoulder. So there are some little bit of attentiveness is required whenever we are taking care of ourselves. Apart from what the previous two speakers they have given us lot of inputs regarding the diets, vitamins, all these things, but these are some of the day to day activities that we do and we neglect all such things because these things keep on going without our knowledge also. But little bit of care is required when we are doing all such activities during our workplaces. Now reduce excessive force. You know that sometimes you try to lift certain weight, or you try to lift certain something like files or whatever it is. So normally during a process we don't put much stress that how much, what is the weight of that particular body that which you are trying to lift. Even while working at the house, normally we don't think much that how much weight that we are trying to lift and how actually we are supposed to lift, because it's all a random activity that we don't put lot of efforts on that. But try to reduce the excessive force, plan your lift, ask for the help if you think that you alone cannot lift it. Widen your base of support. Whenever you are trying to lift, then widen your base of the support, bend your knees properly, tighten your stomach muscle, lift with your leg muscles, keep your load close, keep your back straight. So these are some of the principles of the ergonomics which we normally try to follow in order to keep our body fit, because you know that randomly we do lot of activities without knowing how it is going to affect your body or health in the future. Now keep everything in reach. Now this is very very important, as we know that every one of us are working in the office, we are sitting on a table, and how do we arrange all our things in a table? So this is normally a image that is being shown here. So this green area shows that usual work or optimal reach zone. That means the work which you think that you need to do again and again, try to keep those things nearer to you, so that you don't have to stretch yourself much in order to get those things which is required at that particular moment. Then there is one zone which is being shown in blue color, which is occasional work or maximum reach zone. That means it's of not that important, but sometimes you may require, so that you keep little bit away from you. So the distance is also being shown. The most important work which you want to do, or which is being repeatedly required for you when you are doing it, then it should be kept at a 25 centimeter apart from you. Then the one which is not that important but you may require it at certain time, then that has to be kept at a distance of 50 centimeter. Then those things which you don't require frequently, if you require once in a month or once in 15 days, such things you can keep it in this zone which is shown in a gray color, that is non-working zone or outreach zone. So the purpose of saying this is, don't stretch your body unnecessarily which is not required. So try to keep everything in your reach, try to have a disciplined working table, so that whatever is required again and again, such things you try to keep it within a reach. The things which are not required, you try to keep it away from you, so that you don't have to uh, reach to that particular place again and again. So these are some of the principles which are related to ergonomics, where you try to keep your working table in such a way that which also takes care of your body. Then work at proper height. So this all depends on which particular field that you are working. So if any person is doing some work where his work is related to a standing one, then if the work is a precision type of a work, then he or she should understand that what should be the height of the table, so that their shoulder, elbows, wrist, neck should not get affected. Then if it is light work, what should be the height of the table, so that again your body parts are not getting that much affected. If it is heavy work, again you see the height of the table, how it should be. Then if there is something, always you have to keep in mind that there are certain parts of the bodies knowingly and unknowingly they keep on affecting you, that is your elbow, that is wrist, neck, shoulder, all these parts. And all of us know that nowadays without computer no one can work. So if you are working on a computer table, and if you are sitting for a long time on a table with a computer system, then please try to maintain these things whenever you do it. So your computer screen should be at some distance. Then the way you sit on a chair, it should be at a 90 degrees. Then how you are going to put your legs, that should be at an angle. Then what should be the height of the chair, then what should be the height of your monitor eyesight. So all these things should be taken care. I know every one of us who are sitting here, even maybe today I am sitting and I am giving you a talk, maybe I may not be following all these things, but again I am insisting that it's better let us start following these things, because as I am telling you that knowingly and unknowingly these things are going to affect our health at a later stage. I'll show you some of the statistics also related to this. So these are some of the principle which is related to maintaining a proper height. Minimize the fatigue and static load. So don't try to put yourself into the awkward postures. You know that at home most of the time the children try to get the things which is not reachable to them. So this picture shows that overhead work every one of us do, because we normally sometimes think that why to pull a stool or a table in order to put something. Let us try it. So never do that overhead work, that also affects your some of the body parts. Then twisting and carrying loads. So knowingly and unknowingly we, our legs are in the straight posture only, but we move ourselves. So that is also a wrong way of doing it. Suppose if you look at this particular image, this person is trying to put this load on this side, but see his body posture how it is. So this is a wrong way of doing it. So whenever you are trying to do certain things, do it in a proper way. Minimize the pressure points. So what are our pressure points when we are doing lot of activities? You also know that people who are working on computers and all, they put lot of pressure in using the mouse and the keyboards. And the person might be doing a cycling, or a person might be driving the bike, or a person might be driving the car. So there are so many pressure points which affects our health. So if you look at this hand symbols here, the red color shows the hard one, yellow color shows the tight one, and green one is a normal. So these are the pressure points which are being created on us when we are doing various activities. So when we are walking, so what are our affected pressure points? When we stop the vehicle or a bicycle or a two wheeler or a car, then what are our pressure points? When you are sitting, what are your pressure points? When we unlock, what are our pressure points? When we lock. So these are some of the pressure points that we have to be very careful when we are doing lot of activities. Then one of the principle related to ergonomics is move, exercise and stretch. We know, every one of us agree that we always think that we must to do it, but we never. So but these are some of the practices which are required, because we all are working from morning 9 to 4 or 3 or 5 o'clock, whatever is our working time. So we'll be continuously sitting on the chair. So these are some of the yoga poses that you can do at your office place or even at your home also whenever you are sitting. So don't sit continuously at one particular place, but when you are sitting, try to do certain activities for yourself, so that your shoulders, neck, your wrist, your legs, your hip, and your other body postures also get some sort of relaxation. So chair raised hand pose, chair pigeon pose. So these are some of the very simple exercises that we can do whenever you get 2 minutes or 3 minutes of time during your working time also. So these are some of the good practices that we can follow in our day to day life. Now this is very very important, that is to maintain a comfortable environment. So how to set up your desk for productivity and ergonomics? We all know that when we are spending lot of our time, every one of us know that we spend lot of time at our workplace than at home. So when we are spending lot of our time at the working place, I think everyone must have a very comfortable environment. So you try to maintain a warmer environment could improve your accuracy and productivity. Choose your office colors carefully. Whenever you are sitting at one particular place, try to select the colors of your own choice. Keep only items you need daily on your desk. Consider a left to right workflow. So don't put unnecessary things which you don't require. Sometimes that may irritate you, or that may impact your mood also. Limit personal decoration. Try just three. Don't put much into it. Place monitor 20 to 40 inches from your eyes and away from glare. Top of monitor should level with or below your eyes. So this I have already discussed. Noise cancelling headphones drown out distractions. So normally it is not allowed in some of the working places, but wherever it is allowed, you try to use certain things. Type with wrists flat or angled downwards. So when you are using a keyboard, so how you are supposed to use the keyboard, that is important. Natural light improves mood, focus and sleep. Try to uh, design your room, or you do some certain things where natural light enters your room, and try to put one or two plants which can boost the productivity by as much as 15%. Even it will help you for your oxygen levels also. So this is a comfortable, and I know that it's not possible for everyone, but at least whatever is possible from our end, let us try to do certain things. Importance of ergonomics. So what is the importance? Now normally we are talking about ergonomics, it has some 10 principles and all. If we normally follow all these principles, then what it leads to? It leads to increasing the productivity, it reduces the cost, it improves the quality of the work. And some of the other points which relates to this ergonomics is it helps to reduce the absenteeism due to more comfort, safety and healthy working environment. Assurance to the worker as their workplace is safer. More focus on the working environment and workers health makes them feel valued and boost of morale. So these are some of the outcomes that we can say, that if we follow those 10 principles of the ergonomics, then there is lot of improvement is there in terms of productivity. Because when we follow certain things, normally what happens is our health condition is going to improve. If the health condition gets improves, then absenteeism is going to reduce. If the absenteeism is going to reduce, then the productivity is going to improve also. When you are working in any healthy environment, then it always improves the quality of the work. So these are some of the good practices that we can follow in order to improve ourselves, our health. Even it leads to the growth of the organization. So why we should follow these ergonomics? You might be thinking that why we are doing it. Maybe most of the people who are sitting and listening, you might be thinking that these all are small things, why should be worried about all these things. So this is a simple statistics that I am going to put in front of you, where you can understand that how knowingly and unknowingly it is affecting us. Because all of us who are sitting here, we know that we are neglecting all of them. So if you look at the statistics, that how many people are getting affected with neck problems, with shoulder problems, upper back, elbows, wrists and hands, lower back, hips and thighs, knees, ankles and feet. Because we are not following a proper guidelines, or we are neglecting, not following, we are simply neglecting, because these all are routine things. How much we normally focus on it, so we are simply neglecting it. If we talk about the lifetime prevalence, annual prevalence last 12 months, month prevalence last month, point prevalence today, so these are some of the people who are getting, this is a recent statistics which shows that how many people are getting affected by these many problems, and it's only because of our negligence. Then if you look at the cost effectiveness, so normally the people, we all are neglecting, because we normally neglect our joint pains, we normally neglect our pain at the knees and all. But at the later stage, when you cross certain age, then normally it requires that we have to start taking care of ourselves. So if you look at the statistics, that every 60% of the insurance the people are claiming nowadays, these all are related to the problems which I have shown you here. These claims are all related to this. So 60% of the insurance claims per year and is only because of this. And 70,000 people per year, they lose their jobs because of these problems. So these are some of the statistics that you can see, that $12 million actually they are spending on this, people who are actually getting some problems related to musculoskeletal disorders, that is work related. If you could see that on the screen, that is called WMSD, which is work related musculoskeletal disorder. So these all problems which I have shown, these all are related to that. Now, if you could see on the right hand side, I have put one picture. What is this? This is a Borg rating of perceived exertion. So, normally, if you look at, this is our body. So, which part of our body is actually in a danger zone during our working? So, zero is rest. That you know that when we are at rest, then everything is well. Now, if we talk about, one shows extremely easy, two is very easy, three is easy, four is moderate, five is somewhat hard, six is moderately hard, seven is hard, eight is very hard, nine is very, very hard, and 10 is extremely hard, that is maximum. So these are some of the ratings which they Borg has given based on the body parts which are being labeled here. If you could see that, the neck, shoulder, upper back, upper arm, elbow, lower back, lower arm, hand, wrist. Now these are some of the parts of our body which are actually directly or indirectly getting affected because of our negligence, nothing more than that. It's only purely our negligence at the working environment. So this is one more statistics that you can see how much is too much sitting costing you and your employer. We know that everyone who is nowadays working in software industries and all, maximum time their work is on a sitting. So 75% of the working day is spent sitting. 75%. Less than 50% of the day spent is what research tells us we should be aiming for. 95% of workers want to sit less. This is the statistics. The hazards of too much sitting. When you opt for too much of sitting, higher rates of neck pain with prolonged sitting. It gets increased by two times. 47% increased risk of depression when you sit for a longer time, and 191% time increased risk of chronic illness including diabetes, heart diseases, and some cancers. So these are the issues which we are going to face, and this is what the previous two speakers were also talking about, because maximum time we are trying to sit, we don't want to walk. Even now, you know that everyone of us lifestyle has changed. When we want to go out, either we go by a cab or we go by a vehicle, we don't want to walk. So but this is going to create lot of issues in the coming future. You see one more statistics that the body region which are getting affected with your musculoskeletal disorders, and percent of the respondent, if you see that neck 38%, shoulder 40.9%, upper back 35.4, elbow 13.3, lower back 54.3, wrist and hand 16.6, hip and thigh 18.9, knee 21.3, and ankle and foot 15.1. So these are some of the regions which are getting affected knowingly and unknowingly. We don't put any effort in taking care of these things until and unless it reaches to the extremes. So if we follow these some of the ergonomics, the 10 principles which I discussed at workplace or in your lifestyle, then the benefits of proper ergonomics is 23 to 49% reduction in employee turnover because of healthy lifestyle, 65 to 79% reduction in lost work days, 35% decrease in first aid cases, and 50% decrease in modified duty cases. We all know that it is not possible because every one of us has become so busy. We are stressed out so much that normally we try to not to follow certain things because of lot of work pressure, stress that we are going through every day. But I think that at the age of when we cross a 35 or 40, now I'm 41, so I think I should seriously think of doing these things, because when I sit for a half an hour in my table, then my I start getting my pain at the shoulder because I also don't follow all these things. So normally, since all the youngsters, you might be healthy and you might be thinking that these all are small small things, but when you reach to a certain age of 35 or above 35, then all these problems start showing its effect. So this is the last word that I always keep following. Two lines I change the world. I am an engineer because since I belong to an IEEE women in engineering affinity group, so I always prefer keeping this slide as the last slide of my presentation. And this is about my presentation. If you have any doubts, then we can go for the question and answers. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. This is Jyotsna,
Good afternoon, ma'am.
VNR VJIET. I don't have any questions, but the way you have told us about each and every minute detail, that was really wonderful. Because most of these things we avoid very unknowingly. But
Yes, ma'am.
postures and everything, what you were speaking, it was really a wonderful talk, ma'am. I
Yeah.
just wanted
Thank
to
you.
say this. Thank you.
Thank you.